Hello everyone, and welcome to Kindy Rockstars. This is the show that gives you the stories behind the songs from some of the best bands and singers that are making fun, informative, educational, catchy, and occasionally silly songs for children and families. I'm your host, Patrick Adams, and each episode of Kindy Rockstars will feature an artist and a featured song. So let's get to this week's show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kindy Rockstars. Today, I'd like to welcome Melissa Brun and Christine Petrini, better known as Big Idea Committee. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Hi, thank you.
All right, and today is going to be an album feature for their album, also called Big Idea Committee. But before we get into that, let's hear from the both of you. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you got into Kindy music and how you came together as a band.
Sure, I'll dive in because in some ways it was my brainchild at the start. I started writing some music, as so many Kindy artists do, when my first child was born. And I had set out to really create this band and a sound. And I approached Melissa and said, hey, how would you feel about joining me in this venture into children's music? The two of us are both theater artists, arts educators. Melissa is an extremely established cello player, as I'm sure she'll talk about, and I'm a longtime vocalist. And we were teaching together at Westchester Studio for the Performing Arts. So we had this connection. But we hadn't, when I say teaching together, I mean we were teaching at this location, but we hadn't really worked together in a classroom. No. Our friendship and collaborative relationship has built over the course of Big Idea Committee, even though we met in this other realm of our teaching and young theater arts education process. So anyway, when I came to Melissa with this, she said, I really want to delve into this kind of work and I want to write more music. The timing is perfect. And I had no idea that would be her response. So I was thrilled. But Melissa, if you want to tag off of me here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was really excited when you came to me. And I basically, Christine has written all of the lyrics for our tunes. And then I kind of came on board with Carl the cello back here. And that is my primary instrument, but I've got lots of other stuff here in my teaching studio. I have primarily been a cellist and cello teacher for the past decade or so. But with my theater arts, I had been working with the little guys, with the preschoolers. Mm-hmm. So when Christine came to me with songs that were specifically designed for 3 to 7, 3 to 8-year-olds, this was so much fun because we get to just be fun and be silly and goofy and kind of delve into just being kids again, which is awesome. So I was able to kind of bring my cello and musical and arranging expertise into her lyrics and melodies, and it was just, it works, and it's so much fun.
Okay, so I have to ask, Carl is the name of your cello. Yes. Do they all have names?
They do, yeah. So this guy here, this is Carl the cello with a K. This violin up here is George. This one over here is Gina, and the unnamed guitar down there belongs to my husband, so...
And he has yet to give it a name?
Yet to give it a name.
Tell him to get on it.
I have been.
And for all of our goofiness and shenanigans, Carl always steals the show.
He really does. He really does.
The kids love him. And it's really exciting because when we first got together, we thought, maybe we'll get a full band together. We'll write on the cello and vocals, and then we'll build out each song, and which we did do for the album itself. But the performance is the two of us and the cello. And, some feedback that we received early on was, no, you have something that's unique in the children's world. And Carl is such a visual instrument, and kids can learn about the cello and interact with the cello, and you have this musical theater vibe going. And they said, and it was recommended to us to harness what we already had, the power that we already had. And I'm glad for that. I'm really glad for the mentors in our lives who steered us in that direction.
Very good. All right, tell me a little bit about the inspiration for the band name, Big Idea Committee.
That was all Christine.
So this is an interesting story because as a vocalist, I often sing funeral masses. And I was singing a funeral, and a young man in his 30s got up to give a eulogy. And this eulogy was for his cousin, who I assume, I do not know her, was also around his age range. And he was talking about growing up together and all the things that they would do together in the summertime. And he said every summer, all the cousins would get together and they had a big idea committee. And her name was Lauren. I don't know Lauren, but Lauren was the president of the committee. And she was such a leader type personality. And so the goal of the committee was to make their summer bucket list plans. And he was just overjoyed by this like club that they had every summer amongst all their cousins. And so I went home and I started writing the lyrics to this song. I got some of my students involved in coming up with like, what are things that you would want to do, adventures you want to do with your friends or your siblings. And then eventually Melissa and I really decided to, pare down some of the lyrics to something that was really specific and succinct. And as we built out the song, I think we just mutually had a moment of, oh, wait, this is our identity. This is who we can become. Mm-hmm. So it just happened somewhat organically. Yes, those moments in your life that become significant. And it was really just this moment, an interaction with people that I don't know. Yeah.
I love the name. The name is awesome.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the album. The album making process is so much fun, I found. But tell me, going into making Big Idea Committee, how did it all come together?
Well, it kind of started due to the pandemic that, pre-pandemic, we had written an entire 45-minute show that was a theatrical presentation. And then because we were kind of forced to put everything on hold, we changed gears and started thinking about this album as being our primary goal. And from there, we just kind of put our noses to the grindstone and decided what we wanted as a whole idea. Like how could our show be then transferred into something that kids could take home with them? Excuse me. So basically, I kind of took the time to do the arranging, and then together we found artists that we knew and loved or admired, and reached out to them, and literally we put this album piece by piece together remotely. So we've got saxophones and ukuleles and drums and guitars and all of this full band sound with artists that we've never met or never been in the same place with. So it has been an absolute 100% collaboration, and it was just awesome to be able to finally sit down and hear the whole thing come together, since we were working in tiny parts and sections. So it was literally everybody, all hands on deck.
Yeah, I think there are about 16 or 18 kids who recorded with us too. Yeah. Many of them came to my house one at a time because of pandemic life.
I love how technology has gotten us to a point where it's so easy to just take all that and put it all together.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So with the album feature, we're going to dive into 5 different songs from the album. So the first song I have on the list, fittingly, is called Big Idea Committee. So tell me a little bit about this song and the inspiration behind it.
So this is kind of this is our opening number. This is our opening song to the album, and it's our introduction. It brings everybody into our story, tells everybody who we are, and then we are able to kind of see what kind of adventures we're going to go on. And yeah, it's really fun.
It invites everybody to become part of our committee too. We call all of our friends big thinkers, and it's supposed to be kind of an invitation to join in.
Excellent. All right. Well, we're going to play it right now. Here it is, Big Idea Committee by Big Idea Committee.
Welcome to the Big Idea Committee, where brainstorming's on the brain. We are your adventure guides to show you all the way. I am your president, leader of the show. I'll tell your stories and be your chief. I'll show you where to go. I'm your vice president, leader of the band. I'll back you up, hold down the beat. I'll be your right-hand man.
I am a cello, Carl is my name. With my bow, I'll lead the show. I'm really glad you came.
Okay, so there's us.
Wait, don't forget about Madame Crow.
Oh, what about you? We could really use a whole group of big thinkers like you. Do you want to join our Big Idea Committee?
Yes! Great! Well, come along.
We're the Big Idea Committee. We're the Big Idea Committee. When we get together, our goal is clear. Making plans for fun all year.
Do you have ideas for fun? Say I and then we can move on.
I don't get it.
Let me break it down for you. A-Y-E. I. It means yes, I agree with the group. Like this. All in favor, say aye!
Aye!
When a new thought bubbles within your mastermind, raise your hands and wave up high and sing if you're inclined. Big thinkers, repeat after me. I've got an idea.
I've got an idea.
A big idea.
A big idea.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Hear ye, hear ye.
I've got an idea.
I've got an idea.
No, let's do it all together.
I've got an idea. A big idea. Hear ye, hear ye. I've got an idea. I've got an idea. A big idea. Hear ye, hear ye. I've got an idea. We're the Big Idea Committee. We're the Big Idea Committee. When we get together, our goal is clear. Making plans for fun all year. Many minds invented and one. We all want to have some fun.
All right, that was Big Idea Committee. Our second song is called Neve RosaMarie, inspired by a very special person. Tell us about this one.
Yes, so this is inspired by my daughter, Neve. Her middle name is RosaMarie, and it's actually the first children's song I sat down and wrote lyrically and created a melody for when my daughter was just a teeny tiny one. I don't even know if she could walk yet. I was already dreaming up adventures we could go on together. And when Melissa and I first teamed up, I said, here, I have this song. I really love it. It's very personal to me. I don't think we should perform it because it's just like it's about my daughter, and I feel like we should create things that are about us. And she listened to it and she said, no, we're including it. And so she really pushed me to kind of get over my own inhibitions, and I think it's been actually really well received so far, and kids love it. And we're also overjoyed that Lucy Kalantari joined us on ukulele too.
Excellent. Love it. That was great advice by Melissa. All right. Well, let's play it. Here is Neve RosaMarie by Big Idea Committee.
Hi, it's me, Neve.
Neve RosaMarie, come on, please, go on an adventure with me. We'll travel the world and the deep blue sea. Won't you go on an adventure with me? Let's go biking on the dirt paths at our park and go sledding when the snow comes on the highest hill in town. Our adventures will take us all around. Neve RosaMarie, please go on an adventure with me. We'll travel the world and the deep blue sea. Won't you go on an adventure with me?
Let's go hiking on the Appalachian Trail and go camping under the stars, roast gooey marshmallow s'mores. Our adventures will take us all around. Neve RosaMarie, please go on an adventure with me. We'll travel the world and the deep blue sea. Won't you go on an adventure with me? Your life is a big adventure, and you're the MVP. You'll learn and grow, and the things you know will inspire who you'll be. Neve RosaMarie, please go on an adventure with me. We'll travel the world and the deep blue sea. Won't you go on an adventure with me? Let's go swimming in the Gulf of Mexico and go fishing off a big pier, coral reefs, snorkeling too. Our adventures will take us all around. Neve RosaMarie, please go on an adventure with me. We'll travel the world and the deep blue sea. Won't you go on an adventure with me? Won't you go on an adventure with me?
Let's go on an adventure.
That was Neve RosaMarie. All right, the third song we're going to get into is called Tess. So tell us a little bit about this one.
So I think Christine also inspired this one. She created this character named Tess, who just is this monster. She's this like terrible like little thing that's running around and leaving trash on the floor and being noisy, and it's a little bit of a surprise at the end. But as we were writing this, I wanted something that was going to be like growly and monstery. So I really stay at the low end of the cello, and it's just this groove that's like yum, bum, bum, and it's like really gravelly and monstery. So that was kind of my inspiration for bringing that monster sort of effect to life.
Nice. All right. Well, everybody brace yourselves. Here is Tess.
My monster's name is Tess, and she's the silliest. She wears pigtails like monster ears, and when I snack, she always hears. So when she lays down for a nap, I tiptoe and I do not tap. My monster's always here, my monster's always there. My monster's always spinning, dizzy, pulling on my hair. Ah, she shares my room, she chews my toys, and she makes a lot of noise. My monster's everywhere. My monster's name is Tess, and she's a roaring mess. She eats bananas and leaves the peel. It happens nearly every meal. She tosses toys and says, uh-oh, then waves and says, I've gotta go. My monster's always here, my monster's always there. My monster's always spinning, dizzy, pulling on my hair. She shares my room, she chews my toys, and she makes a lot of noise.
What is all that noise?
Everything's fine, Carl. Shh.
Please, Christine, do keep it down.
It's Tess making all that sound. I don't mind taking the fall. For Tess, I'd do anything at all. My monster's name is Tess, and she's the very best of friends who's always by my side. We make believe that we can fly. In fact, she's not a monster at all.
Holy staccato! Not a monster?
Hey, I thought the song was about monsters.
She is my sister, 3 feet tall.
Whoa, wait a minute. Your sister's name is Jess.
Yeah, but her monster name is Tess. She shares my room, chews my toys, and she makes a lot of noise. She shares my room, chews my toys, and she makes a lot of noise. My sister's name is Tess.
That was Tess by Big Idea Committee. All right. 4th song is called Kindness Rocks. So what was the inspiration behind this one?
So I'll jump in with the inspiration real quickly, is just that I was actually having a lot of trouble dealing with big feelings and acts of kindness in a theater class of mine. So I sat down with my students and started kind of creating a kindness pledge with them and talking through all these like imagery ridden things that we could do to be kind to each other. And out of that, I then went home and sat down and wrote the lyrics. But I'd love for you to chime in on this as far as like musically, Melissa.
Yeah. This one was a little bit of a challenge because the melody that Christine wrote is in this sort of minery, dark kind of feeling. But we're talking about something that's really awesome and that should be uplifting and happy. We're talking about kindness. So what I did is I kind of put this like little groove behind it, and oftentimes we'll ask people to kind of snap along and kind of get into that groove with us. And putting that rhythmic element behind that sort of minery melody made it really jazzy and a lot more fun, and it just kind of brought the whole tune to life. And then when we get into the middle, we do our kindness pledge, which is this bright, happy, major part, and then we kind of go back to our dark groove. So it's a nice balance, I think.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's check it out. Here is Kindness Rocks.
Kindness rocks, kindness rolls, kindness really grooves like funk and soul. If you're down with a kindness groove, everyone around you will feel it too. Inside out, upside down, it's easier to smile than it is to frown. Outside, inside, right side up, wear your kindness when you wake up. Kindness rocks, kindness rolls, kindness grooves like funk and soul. If you're down with a kindness groove, everyone around you will feel it too. Reach out your hands, lead with your heart. Will you take the kindness pledge and do your part? Yes, 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 yes. I pledge to speak in a kind way. I pledge to help throughout my day, care for others big and small, and love our earth for one and all. My kindness is a gift. I can do so much with it.
Oh, I know! Please and thank you!
Give a hug!
Or how about teach a friend to do the jitterbug?
Share my new toy!
What if I help clean up?
Say good morning, good night, and what's up? What's up, big thinkers? Vice President Melissa.
Hi.
What's up?
Clouds and the sky and some birds and maybe some trees and
Yes, totally. And Carl, what's up, my friend?
Hello, President Christine. I am well today.
That's awesome. Big thinkers. Say hi to your friends, neighbors, family. Give a high five, a wave, a fist bump. Doesn't it feel cool to be kind? Kindness rocks, kindness rolls, kindness grooves like funk and soul. If you're down with the kindness groove, everyone around you will feel it too. Inside out, upside down, it's easier to smile than it is to frown. Backward, forward, left and right. Spread kindness from sun to moonlight. Kindness rocks, kindness rolls like a river. Kindness flows. Let's get down with the kindness groove, 'cause you matter and I do too. Wow, wow. Kindness groove.
All right, the last song to be featured here is called Spring. And I think I know what inspired it. And even though right now it's summer, tell us a little bit about the song Spring.
So Spring was actually the first tune that Christine and I wrote 100% remotely. We sat down on Zoom one day, and even with the latency and not being able to perform and rehearse live, we were able to come up with this really fun groove and this fun chord progression and just fit these melodies right in with everything. And this was so much fun for me to write, and I think this is probably my favorite song on the album. It's so much fun to perform. It's just about being outside and listening to all the different little things and taking in all of the sounds of insects and water and streams and all of the little things that you can hear while being outside in the springtime.
Nice. All right, we don't get much of that here in Vegas. It's mostly always summer. But anyway, so here we go. Here is Spring by Big Idea Complete.
Spring, spring, spring. Listen to her sing, sing, sing. I love being in nature, listening. Hear leaves rustle as the wind goes whoosh. Hear birds tweet as the frogs go croak. Then feel her morning dew. It's wet and covers my shoe. Let's listen. Spring, 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 listen to her sing, sing, sing. I love being in nature, listening. Hear the storm, watch the lightning flash. Wish for rainbows as the clouds pass. Then feel her evening dew. It's wet and covers my shoe. And when the day is done, we'll await the morning sun. Because all the signs of spring bring joy to us. Bring us joy. All the sights and the sounds of the sights and the sounds of spring.
And that was Spring, and that was our album feature for Big Idea Committee. All right, so let everybody know where they can buy, stream, download that album, and how they can find and connect with you both on social media.
Fantastic. If you want to support our work, we love to have you buy our album on Bandcamp, which is spectacular. You can stream our music on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, or anywhere that you can stream music. You can find us on bigideacommittee.com, and you can find us on Facebook and on Instagram at Big Idea Committee.
Melissa, Christine, thank you so much for being on. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck with everything, Big Idea Committee. And one final question, what is in store for you both for the rest of 2022?
Well, we're going to be doing some gigs up and coming. So we're going to be at some outdoor gigs this summer, and I don't know what's next as far as recording, but we have 3 or 4 songs that we are inspired to write, and a couple we already have sitting in the pile of yet to be addressed tunes. So I think that there's maybe either some holiday music on the horizon, or something Melissa is really excited about is a Carl the Cello tune. And everybody tells us, even the kids, we just did all these end of year school shows for some aftercare programs, and a bunch of kids said, this should really be a TV show. So we feel like it's episodic in the sense that, the Big Idea Committee can have an episode about like an outdoor adventure or a vacation or acts of kindness. And anyway, we don't know what the future will hold because we have about 1 billion ideas because we're artists, and that's how artists operate.
Carl the Cello,
Patrick. Almost
screaming to be a children's book too.
That it is.
Yes, we may have to come to you for some pointers.
Anytime. All right. Well, best of luck with everything, and thank you both so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patrick, and congratulations to you as well.
Oh, thank you.
On your recent album.
Thanks. All right. Take care.